A quick little video today that's just a flip through of my 5th Rituals of Returning mini booklets. I make these booklets for members of the Goddess Magic community. The most recent one, which is actually issue number 6, is available free to anyone who is on our Rituals of Returning Substack newsletter list. So if you'd like to make a little booklet like this, you can get your free one at the Rituals of Returning Substack, and I will link to that below. I also link to a little quick video on a past video on how to sew and assemble booklets like this. I make a lot of little poetry books, little devotional volumes, little practice prayer books like this, and I have for quite a few years. And so there's a whole bunch of other ones that you will encounter at some point. Some are free, some are for members of the Patreon, etc. But they're all assembled in the same way. I do a really simple sewn binding that only requires poking of 3 holes and essentially 2 stitches and a knot, but it's a really nice, easy binding technique. And then they're all assembled the same way. As I do have a cover page and I do have a center page. Those are the only 2 pages that need to be in order. Otherwise, you just print the pages out, double-sided, cut them in half, and then stack them up. I always say kind of like a sandwich, stack them up like a sandwich, and then fold them in half, and that's how the book is made. I do get questions sometimes from people who don't really understand how to assemble them, but I think sometimes it's because they maybe think it's more complicated than it is. It really is very basic. Print it out, double-sided, cut it in half, stack it up, and then you have a little book. And you also, I always like to emphasize, you also can staple it. You don't have to do the sewn binding. I like the sewn binding. So for the cover of this one, I used part of a note card from Amanda Fall of the Phoenix Soul. I get art mail from her, and so I used that as the cover. Most little small, for the size of these booklets, little note cards will work, little greeting cards will work, little cards you get from charities will work. You can trim them down a little bit if you need to, but a lot of them are just the right size to begin with. I have a nice little bookmark in here that was a little surprise present from Karen, who's a member of our community, and she sent out some little surprise blessing baskets. I have the other one is actually right over here in my tote bag that she sent, and so that is keeping me company, but I used the bookmark in my Rituals of Returning mini book. Since this one was from June, this one is based on May content, but then June's resources were active, so I have the mini versions of the cards there. I reinforced the front cover with a card, again from Amanda Fall, and I have my mini envelope. This is things that I make for the Goddess Magic patrons, and so I have my mini envelope of reminder cards in here, and the mini version of the practice snapshot card is in here too. And then the back cover, and then I have my mini folio altar card tenet as well in there. And then I have one of my own coloring oracle cards on to reinforce the back cover. You can see this one got a little dinged up because I carry these around with me through the whole month. I find it's a really nice way to root down in to kind of keep myself oriented in the themes and the insights and the inspirations and the practices of the month, and so I carry them around with me, and so that's why the corners are a little dinged up. The thing on the back is from Debbie at Ink and Page Journals, and this is something I just made for our patrons as a little extra kind of printable inspiration deck. But anyway, so then I color it. I take these 2 with me to the library, like when my kids are at the summer reading program, and color the little pieces. I use my own little recap decks in them, and then it becomes this a little touchstone, really, a little place of reconnection, a little portable temple on paper, really. And so these are some other components from Ink and Page as well, and I colored the center, and yeah, so pretty simple, pretty easy to take care of, and it really just creates a nice, there's a physicality or an embodiment to the practice of keeping a little book. And then there's also just that it really does keep your insights, keep your inspirations, keep your discoveries right at your fingertips, instead of, it just keeps it right at your fingertips. And then it also involves this creativity and this creative exploration. So instead of just reading, I have the right to my own life, you're actually engaging with it. You're coloring it. You're letting it soak into you. You're helping it sink in. So that is a simple, completed little Rituals of Returning booklet. And again, the 6th volume is free for everybody, and I'll link to that below. So thanks for watching. Hope that inspires some creativity and personal practice of your own. Keep living your magic, everyone. Bye-bye.